Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 Podcast. I am your host, Crimson Sin. Be sure to follow us over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. Episode 3 of The Owl House, I Was a Teenage Abomination. When I first saw that title, I thought, okay, it's going to be stupid. And this is a bad episode. I can't sugarcoat it. It drops below average. It's below a 5 because the lesson, if there is a lesson, it's a bad one. The characters come to ridiculous conclusions that make no sense. And it's formulaic, just like how I predicted in my last review when we saw in the opener, okay, the little black kid's going to be kind and nice and charming. Ding, 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 ding. The overweight girl is going to be like the nice fat girl that it doesn't fit in because she's not like the other girls. Ding, 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 ding. And the other girl's a bitch. Ding, 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 ding. I'm batting 1,000 here, gentlemen. But, okay, we'll jump right in and we see that Etta and Luz and King are on the beach. And they're like, there's like a big nasty worm that washed up on the beach. And I guess these things eat everything. So it's Etta's job to like dig into these things and like pull out whatever's useful. And then, she sells like human stuff. And this stuff, she pulls like a rubber chicken, a bunch of like random stupid crap. Absolutely disgusting. I couldn't even imagine how bad this must smell. But Etta, my God, you have a horrible life. You're literally a dumpster diver and you're alone. Are we to not want to be like Etta? Are we supposed to feel sorry for her? I feel sorry for Luz because if Luz wants to become a witch, she has the worst teacher ever. And that's another thing. They turn around and say that she's a great teacher at the end. She doesn't taught her jack diddly crap. Oh my God. So here you go. Hands Luz a pickaxe. Oh, let's start digging this. And she doesn't want to do it because it's effing disgusting. And, she's like, hey, can't you like teach me something like useful? Oh, look at this is useful. Look at all this. And like she's like digging through garbage. And she's like, she's like, maybe about spells and all the kind of traditional stuff. Oh, sounds like you want to go to a magic school, but those places suck. She's like, oh, there's actually real magic school? She's like, yeah, there is. But you're going to learn different here. You're going to learn the right kinds of things. Like shoves her hand into this pool of like mucus pus and pulls out like a little slime thing. And look, it's a little hairy ball. My God, the visual imagery here. Oh yeah, hold on to this. You never know, you might need one of these. Okay. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to the house and check some things out. She wants to go look at this school. She wants to find out where this school is and what's it all about. Here's the thing: if she was teaching her things, she just allows her to walk off. I'm not getting what they're trying to get here with Etta. What the hell's her purpose? She hasn't taught her a single thing, and she's been here. I don't know. In cartoon time, a couple of weeks, hasn't taught her anything. Anyways, we get the opener, and then we get to Luz is trying to find where the school is, and then she comes upon one of the students, and it's I forgot all these characters' names. Again, anyone who's watches my podcast and watches my reviews, it takes me a while to learn people's names. But here's an interesting thing. Look at this credit. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on this story. My God, you should never go above 3 people on a single story because then you just get this wacky, hodgepodge of a story, which is kind of what this is. Way too many people on this damn story. And then it was written by 2 people. So altogether, the story was done by 7 people. A very simple half-an-hour episode had 7 individuals working on it. Ridiculous. Not even counting editors and stuff. Insane. Look at Luz's face. She's looking at these names like 4 of you need to go. So she comes upon the girl, the bigger one, and she's, I guess, nervous for her. I guess she has a test or she has to turn in an assignment. And she's like, I don't want to fail my class. I want to get another not a passing grade. And she steps on a flower and she's like, oh, no, I'm sorry, little friend. And she brings the flower back to life. And within this one moment, she became better than perfume. And then we enter the bitch. She's coming in and she's using her magic to move her. But they both have these big whirl barrels. I'm like, what the hell are they doing? Oh, you're so, I didn't notice you were there. Like just being super like condescending and mean to her.
Willow! Wow, you're so unnoticeable. I almost rolled into you.
And I'm guessing that they have the same class as Abomination class. Like, what a name. But I guess they had to make their own abominations. They're like these goop monsters. And then she's like, oh, where's yours at? And she knocks it over, and then it's just a goopy mess. Like she couldn't get it to form right. Oh, that's too bad. And then she's been a bitch, and like, oh, that's why they call you half a witch, Willow. Well, her name is Willow. Can we get any more generic on the name Willow? Come on, Buffy fans. Let's get on this. It's kind of like the character Willow from Buffy now that I think about it. Early seasons of Willow, not later seasons, which became awful. But she's just super nice and super kind, and the best friend material. But she's like, look at mine, and it's like a perfect abomination. It rises, it falls, and it's kind of like you give life to like a monster, basically what this thing is. But this is a little odd. The abomination comes out and goes, oh, you're our star, and gives her like a little star to Willow. And I'm like, oh, that was nice of him. Like, or was he doing it to be mean, or did she make him do that? But oh, it's not like my star that's real and yours is worthless, and it just says top student on it. So we have who this girl is. She's just gonna be the bitch. Hopefully her character will come around and become like a friend and learn from her experiences. But I don't know if this show's smart enough to do that, especially when they have to have 5 people on a story. But she's like, oh, well, good luck with your class. And she just takes off, just being mean and nasty to her. Luce is like, oh man, screw that girl. She's being so mean to this Willow girl. But then Willow gets angry, and then like her plant powers manifest through her anger. And then she makes like all these giant vines, and one of the vines grabs Luce and pulls her over. So this girl has some kind of super latent superpower. Man, it's so done a million billion times. We get back to Etta, and I guess she collected a bunch of these trash worm eggs. Don't know if she's going to sell them, use them in potions, do something. I don't know. Then we get the beginnings of a B plot. And a lot of cartoons, a lot of live action shows, especially in comedies, you'll have the A plot, which will be the main storyline, which would be Luce going to this magic school. And the B storyline is this bet that King and Etta have. The show doesn't seem to be strong enough for a B plot. It really needs to focus on one storyline at a time. I guess they just did it so you would see why they weren't looking for Luce, and they were kind of doing their own stupid thing. King's okay, because Etta's super happy she got these like nasty little larva egg thingies, and she's like, oh, it's a really good day. And King's like, it may not be a good day. You may be losing your apprentice. What are you talking about? Yeah, she's probably went off to find somebody to teach her real magic because you're not doing it. Good on King for putting Etta on blast, because she has just having her do like garbage work. She hasn't actually taught her a single magical thing at all. She's like, what are you talking about? Of course she's loyal to me. And he's like, how about we make a bet that I'd be a better teacher than you? And then she's like, yeah, okay. Like she's making some comment how he got his head stuck in a sweater, and like she's constantly making fun of him. And she has like this giant book of like all their bets, and every single time she's won. She's like, okay, sure, I'll take your bet. Here's one of these larva eggs. Make it like one of your minions, and then, do everything you said you were going to do, and prove me wrong, and you win the bet. And she's like, if I win, I get to call you Mr. Wiggles from now on. He's like, well, if I win, then you can't sleep in the house anymore, and you got to wear a dunce cap, and you got to sleep like in the garage. He's like, I know I'm going to win. So they make the official bet, and leaves the little egg with the King. So he's going to raise this like worm thing. Get back to A plot. And the Willow's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Did I hurt you? And she's like, Luce is like, wow, that was so cool and everything. But Willow's like, wait a second. She looks at her ears. She's like, oh my God, you're a human. That's crazy. Like, how did a human get here? Like, they're aware of humans, but I guess no one's ever really seen one, or at least not in their world. But she's like, oh wow, that's so cool and everything. But then she kind of hears the bell for the school. Like, oh, I got to go. But Luce is like, hey, you go to a real school. I want to check that out. And she's like, you know what? I can help you with your test. I'm thinking, what are they going to do? And this is where this is nonsensical. It's almost infantile and very childish in the way she thought this was going to work. She's like, hey, I'll just cover myself in your abomination goo, and I'll pretend to be the abomination. So when you like summon me, I'll come out and I'll act all funny and weird, because I am funny and weird. Willow first is like against it, but then she starts thinking about, oh, okay, then I'll pass. I'll finally get a passing grade. So what's the lesson? Lie to your teachers, cheat on tests, and it's going to be fine, because, okay, I really dislike this lesson. It's being dishonest and deceitful is not a good thing. You know, there's times where you have to lie, but this is a school project. This isn't life or death. So she doesn't need to be a freaking liar. We get to the school, classic school. You know, we see that it has lockers and everything. Winterhold, this isn't. This is a very a lot of sight gags, and you know, like the lockers are monsters, and then like they have tongues and everything. They hold your books. Okay. Then we get little man here. Again, it's gonna take me a while before I learn these names. Little black elf kid, and he has like a teen Vogue style magazine, and can you believe what these humans do? They put braces on their children's teeth. Like, he doesn't understand it because that wouldn't, it's a foreign concept to them. But just from him talking, he has a very sweet little kid voice. Gordon Goodbrother had a little brother, and it's this guy. Lou starts talking, like trying to answer his questions, and she's like, Lou's idiot, shut the hell up. So she's trying to like, okay, look, I made my abomination rise. She pops out and her face isn't even covered in it. I thought she was going to at least cover herself in all the purple goo and try to look like this thing. No, it's just kind of on her shirt and her hands, a little bit in her hair. So it looks nothing like this abomination is supposed to look. And this kid is like, oh, wow, it's a human. And I guess he's part of the Human Appreciation Society. And I made the joke that he was Bo. My God, he is Bo from She-Ra. All the same kind of like over the top happy mannerisms and everything. One Bo in my life is enough. The bell is literally like a screaming monster. That's pretty funny. But I guess they have to go to class. So it's like, oh, back into the darkness, abomination. And she sinks back into the bucket. Get back to B plot. And King is like feeding his little worm a bunch of food. And Ed is like, oh, wow, that's a real powerful soldier you got there. Oh, real great. It's really listening to you. And they're both right. You can't be a teacher who only rewards a student. But Ed just treats Luce like crap. So I don't get the story here because they don't find a happy middle ground. It doesn't ever come to that. It's like, I thought the lesson was going to be, I was too soft and I was always rewarding my monster and that's why it turned out the way it did. Then Ed is like, I've been kind of hard on Luce and maybe I got to be more gentle like you. Maybe you got to be more tough like me. No, that's not the lesson. It's just do whatever the hell you want. So he's feeding it dog biscuits and that's how he's getting it to at least follow him around. And, and King's like, hey, at least my student's here. I don't even know where your student is. And then, Ed is kind of trying to laugh it off, but she always gives these little concerned looks. She's like, wait a minute, where is she? Get back to the classroom, and we got this little wizard guy who's like the teacher, the professor. And he's all right. He's like a little guy. He has his abomination carrying him around. He's almost like Krang if he was like in his belly. But one student's presenting her abomination, but he's like, oh, it's gross. Too many toenails. F, you fail. And he's like, hey, the next student comes up here. If they don't, do a good job, everyone gets extra homework. And then, I'm thinking, oh, wow, you would think the one girl, the mean girl would be like, I don't want extra work. So she kind of like, oh, let me present. And she kind of halfway presents her abomination. And it's perfection. Oh, it's great. But I saved the best for last. I'm going to call on Willow. And they're like, oh man, we're going to get extra homework, half which Willow's going to mess it up. But by his own, what he said was the next person to present. And technically she wasn't called up to present, but she did present her perfect one. So, whatever. She goes up there and says, arise, abomination. And then Luce kind of does it. Like she pops out and she's like, kind of doing the voices and stuff. And then she's giving it commands. And the teacher's like, oh, this is so wonderful. Excellent job, Willow. He can't tell this isn't an abomination. He can't tell the abomination is talking to Willow in a way that abominations don't talk. But he's just so happy. Oh, A+, A+, A+. And this just absolutely pisses off the perfect girl. And she's just like, I'm going to get back at you. So simplistic. The bell screams again. I love this. The best character is the bell. Then, the professor comes out. Oh, Willow, excellent showing here. You really turned it around. I didn't think you were going to be able to do this. Giving her all the accolades that she wants, but she's lying and cheated. She never gets in trouble for it. And then he's like, oh, looks like we have a new top student. Takes the badge off of the other girl and gives it to Willow. And man, that really pisses her off to the point that she's like, I saw your abomination this morning and it was garbage. What did you do to it? And she's like, oh, I took your advice and I tried really hard. And of course she doesn't believe it. Willow doesn't believe it. get back to Etta, and she's still waiting for Luce, and Luce is still at the school. Asks her little owl buddy, hey, did you see Luce around here? And he's like, oh no, she might have went this direction, look at the weather vane. And she's like, there's only one thing in that direction. I have this problem with a lot of I have a big problem with it in She-Ra. This show a little less because it's not an action adventure show, so it's not as important. But she literally runs to that school. So this school's within running distance because she didn't take her broom, she didn't fly. So it's got to be less than a mile, I think, because you're not going to full on sprint there. So she's like, no, not a school. And we see like the kindergarten, and we see like the junior high, and the teacher's like, okay, let's start remembering our runes. And then Edda's like, no, not busy work, not mindless repetition, like all the things she hates. She hated school. So it's killing her that Luce went to the school, and she sees her there like helping Willow and everything. She's like, no. But what's the... You need some school. Yes, I hated school too in high school, but I went and I graduated and, went to college and stuff. You don't have to be in love with it, but I learned things. There's certain things you get to learn in school. Even if you were trying to be a real teacher and actually taught her real things instead of how to pick up garbage, maybe she wouldn't have to go to a friggin' school, you friggin' jerk. I guess they're the Banshees. Look at they got a little poster. I wonder if they have like sports teams and stuff. I wonder if that kind of stuff's going to get into it. But it's lunchtime, and they're all sitting there. It's Luce, Willow, and the other kid. Was it Alexander? Was that his name? I don't know. It's going to take me a while to figure it out, to remember anyways. He's like, hey, Luce, do you humans eat peanut butter and jelly? She's like, oh, yes, I haven't had real food in so long. So she eats it, and then they're like, wait a second, you shouldn't be eating anything because if Alice, it wasn't Alice there. If she sees it, she's going to know because, abominations don't eat. Oh, I saw that. Get out of here. You're not an abomination. What are you? She pulls her out and everything, starts yelling and screaming. She gets in trouble, and rightfully so. You're causing a disturbance. You're acting like a complete psychopath. And she's like, the professor guy's like, hey, you got to go to the principal's office now. You're in trouble. And then even Willow and Luce feel kind of bad because this girl got in trouble because they cheated. Even though she kind of went over the top and was, I got to prove you wrong. It was because they did the wrong thing. They did the bad action. Yeah, she's a bitch and all, but you caused this whole situation. So I'm glad that it looks like they felt bad, but they still don't give a crap. Get back to B-plot, and King has been feeding this worm all day. So this thing's pretty huge. It's like the size of a truck. And Etta comes back, and she has that sourpuss look on her face. She got them sour grapes. And she's like, fine, I lost. You won. Your student's still here. My student took off and went to school. And she's like, fine, whatever. Like, meh. At least she didn't welch on the bet. She went through with it. She's like, takes the dunce cap and whatever, I'll go live in the garage. She leaves, and then King's like, ha ha, I win. And then he's like, okay, student, I've taught you everything I know. He didn't teach him anything. He just like fed him snacks. Here, go terrorize the town. But he wants more of those snacks, and he's all out. So it's going to try to eat him. I'm like, oh, looks like he lost his bet too because he didn't, his student, at least Luce just left. His student's literally trying to kill him. They're, I guess, in another classroom. I don't know where they're at. They just like walk into a classroom. I'll explain where they're at. But Luce pops out and she's like, man, I got to get out of here. It was fun being this abomination, but, I got to get out of this pot. She's like, we did it. You're number one student now. High five. And they're like, what the hell's a high five? Bo, I'm going to call him Bo until I remember his name. Bo gives her a high five. Oh, this is really cool. And gives her like a 50 high fives. The other girl, the mean girl, comes out with the principal, and he looks like a Nintendo bad guy. Like I would see like back on the NES days, like the final boss, he has this weird thing on his head and everything. And he comes out, he's like, oh, wow, she told me about your amazing abomination. I'd like to see it. So it starts to pretend to be Abomination, and he's like grabbing her face and everything. He doesn't know it's human. Then he's giving it commands and stuff, and then he tells her to lie. And I automatically thought like lie on the floor. But she like tells a bunch of stupid like, oh, fall, like, stupid lies. No, I meant lie like on the table. Why were they in this room again? They just happened to be there. She lies down on the table, and he's like, I want to see what your abomination is made of. And Willow's like, holy crap, I got a list. Here's a list of all of her ingredients. No. I want a closer look. He like pulls out a dagger. And they're going to do like an autopsy. Oh, Willow, you can have the first cut and show me your work. And then Willow's like, can I just cut you up? Is that a thing humans can do? She's like, no, you'll kill me. Then, this is the nonsensical craziness that no one gets in trouble for this. Bo knocks over all the pots with all the abominations in there, and they just run away. This is no good. This is a bad lesson. Cheat and lie on a test, get called out on it, you're about to be found out, run away from your principal and run around the school. That's what you do. Bad lesson, guys. 7 people on a story, and this is the best you can come up with. So they start to run away. And I think, what are the stakes here? You cheated on a test. You might get in trouble, detention. Maybe you had to take a redo. Hopefully you don't get expelled. But they're going to like do all this crazy stuff just so they can get away with cheating. It's ridiculous. The principal casts a magic spell on the wall, and again, I'm like, oh, he's going to lock all the doors. They're trying to get away, but then the door starts shutting one by one because he's like shutting off all the passageways. Kind of a cool spell. Get back to Ed, and look how upset she is. She's sitting like in the garage with a stupid dunce cap on, and King runs in. He's like, oh, you gotta help me. My student's trying to eat me. And then she's like, oh, yeah, I guess you really do need my help. I guess you really aren't the best teacher. So she's kind of giving him she's giving him the business. Our giant slug guy breaks in and is going to try to eat him, like pulls and drags him out of the closet. And then Ed is going to go out there and help him. I'm like, okay, that's nice. Get back to the cheaters. I don't know what else to call them. The freaking the liars. They're running away from the principal. The principal's chasing him down with these abominations. I'm thinking, this is getting way out of hand. This has gotten way out of hand. They run away from the high behind a pillar and they talk for like 2 minutes. How did he not catch up while they're having a conversation? Luce is like, she's like, oh no, I failed again. I suck. And Lucy's like, no. I had a teacher too, and she taught me to hold on to things. And then she pulls out like all that crap. And in one of those, the slime ball was a seed. Willow sees it and goes, oh wow, this is great. And she's like, what are you talking about? Oh, it's a seed, and she can use it to make her plant magic. And then she's like, oh yeah, my teacher taught me to hold on to stuff. That's the lesson? Hold on to garbage? Anyone, please enlighten me. What was the positive message out of this? So she uses it to make a bunch of her vines and everything. Super powerful. This is like Entangled level 10. She does a pretty amazing tangle spell here and, starts wrapping things. Even wraps up the principal. And he's like an old wizard dude, warlock guy. So he's impressed by it. Yeah, this girl looks like a freshman. And she's already doing magic like this. She's hella strong. Oh, the girls always have hidden talents. Okay, we get it. Then the other girl's like, I'm not going to let you get away with it. So she starts summoning her abominations to go get them. Then Luce is able to punch it and break it in one hit. Remember when she was too weak to lift the lever? Now she's sword fighting in the last episode, one punching these monsters in this episode. So what was the whole point of her being weak? Was it just for one stupid gag? Don't like that. So they're getting away, they're running away, but they're starting to get, they're getting a little bit overrun, but then the Willow starts using her magic a lot, like to pull out a bunch of vines to capture all these things. She's like, Luce, get the hell out of here. I'm not leaving without you. What are the stakes? There's no stakes here. She's like, I'll get in trouble, yeah, but you're a human. They're going to like cut you up and stuff, and I don't want that to happen to you. You get the hell out of here. Throws her out of the school with one of the vines, and she got caught. Get back to Edda's fighting the worm, and it's kind of an okay fight. She's smacking it around a little bit, and then they dump salt on him, and he turns into a little worm and disappears. Before he does it, King's like, I have no son, and man, me and my dad. No, not really. But so they beat the slug, and hooray. Like I said, this place has to be within no more than a mile. There's no way it's any more than a mile because she ran there. Unless Luce is again, remember, she's nerdy weak. Would she run a 4-minute mile? My freaking ass. But she goes and gives her a hug, and of course, Edda doesn't know what hugs are. Oh, Edda, we need you. One of my friends are in trouble, and looks like nothing happened to them. They come running up to him. They were right behind her, a minute behind? And they all get the hugs. He's like, oh, Luce, you won't believe it. Everything worked out fine. The principal was so impressed with my magic, he moved me over to whatever, plants, or I don't know if it had a special name. And then she's like, oh, look, she turned her clothes green. So that means she's going to be part of the nature project, the nature path. And she's like, oh, wow, that's so great. And she's like, oh, I can't wait to, I'll see you guys again when I sneak back in. They're like, no, that's not going to happen. So she got a wanted poster. Where they got this picture? Is it a drawing? I don't know. And then Edda's like, yes, you got kicked out of the school. You're bad like me. Then she's like, no, but Willow's like, hey, but we can come visit you. I'm like, oh, that's nice of them. And then Eda takes her wanted poster and she's like, oh, my baby girl's growing up. She got her first wanted poster. And again, the lesson doesn't make any damn sense. She pats her on the head and she's like, oh, I got a pretty good teacher. How? Someone explain to me how Eda's a good teacher in any way. From what we witnessed, she's taught her to deliver packages and dig inside of a giant carcass of a filthy worm. That's it. So, I don't know. This episode was bad. It was a mess of storytelling. Don't have 7 people on a story. Just never do that. And yeah, 3 episodes in, I said I'd give it 5. But if the episodes are going to be like this, do I finish the series? I don't know. But yeah, this was a rough one. Rough one indeed.
I didn't finish school and look at me. Who wouldn't envy where I am right now?
Crimson Saint here. Thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single upload. If you have any tips or story ideas, hit us up on Twitter at C15Podcast, or better yet, join our Discord server, link in the description below.